Good evening, everyone. Welcome. It is another Thursday night, and it is the NLG Show. How's everybody doing on this fabulous Thursday evening? And I want to say hi to everybody in the chat room, as usual, already hopping and rocking and rolling. I already saw a bunch of people.
Pretty awesome.
Yeah. Jay got Indie Gamer. Michael Garvey, my troll. Who else is in there? Oh,
Bonk.
Richard Hayward. Yeah, Retro Rick Hayward. Jeff Rule, Infinite. How's it going on, guys? So, no, they're not jelly beans. They're up. Daz. Shizno. Oh, my goodness. Shizno's in the house. Not jelly beans. They're Planters whole cashews. So, how you doing, boys?
Hanging in there.
Yeah, no kid. What a night.
Some trouble with my ear, so.
Yeah, man. I'm sorry to hear that. So.
Sorry to hear that.
Dang it. That's not what I meant to say.
I know.
Oh, Niall and Crispy Bomb just came in the house. Oh. So how you guys doing? What's everybody doing good?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Feeling,
Still alive.
Yeah? Yeah, still alive. So, let's see. I did not, you know what? I didn't even put the topic thing up. This is how unprepared I am tonight.
No topics. Or are we going off topics?
You know what? I don't, What even happened this week? Not much. This is kind of a lull, kind of a calm before the storm of the next set of stuff going on.
Yeah, it's almost August. So.
It's almost August, and
Rumor has it.
Well,
there's going to be news in August.
Well, we know there's going to be news in August because Tommy's got news coming in August.
There we go.
So at least we know Intellivision's got something going on. We're going to touch on that tonight for sure. I decided to do that in lieu of retro segment since, technically Intellivision is kind of a, retro throwback, not a throwback, but it's a retro inspired thing. So I'm going to use my retro segment tonight to talk about some of the cool stuff that Tommy's been doing the last week with his videos and the lead up to the press conference coming out next Tuesday. So
press conference comes up and it's like big hoax. He fooled you all.
Right. And those of you who pre-ordered, suckers.
Yeah. Suckers.
No, that ain't happening. Wilmy Hood, my brother Wilmy. I feel, I keep having to catch Gaming Beyond the Box late because I do Amico All Access. Then the next day, Next day, I catch the rest of his show. If you guys haven't seen it, it's so hilarious. This is a good group of guys. So his bottom row are all beards. So everybody in the bottom row of his show has like the epic beard.
A beard row.
You know, kind of like our friend Chris. You know, and his epic beard that he has. So I think he shaved. I think he shaved this week. So
I think so too.
Yeah.
But well, he said everybody has a beard but me. On my 50-inch TV, Mike is 3 inches. Hey, I'll take it. I'll take it. That's just never mind. Okay. So anyway.
Wow. Oh Lord. Jeez.
Oh
Here
my
we go.
God. Yeah. So
And that Wilminghood says I can't stand the itching. So I don't know if it refers to this. Okay.
No. He's talking
This
about
show
his beard.
derailed pretty quick.
Yeah. So, what's happening, Peter? How you doing, man?
Oh, yeah. Well, besides my ear, I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
Played some Ghost of Tsushima.
Did that game come out?
Say again?
Did that game come out?
What game?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I played a little bit. Now what's that name? That game called? That came out from. It's still in preview. It came out yesterday.
Oh, Grounded.
Grounded, yeah.
Okay,
Grounded.
you got a chance to play it?
I got a chance to play it. I've played like the alpha, beta, whatever prior.
Yeah, that demo
thing. Demo. I've played that, and now it's in early access. Played it again. So it's a little smoother, but it's those games take a lot of time, and then it's like what are you supposed to do once you.
We're gonna run through it. We're gonna run through some co-op this weekend, right?
Yes, depending when you plan on doing it, I might be able to jump in.
Okay. Well, it would not be
My daughter
co-op
has some birthday parties this weekend, so.
No, okay. I was gonna say it wouldn't. If you didn't play co-op with me, it would be solo.
And that's right.
Okay, just checking.
Solo by itself.
So, I'll feed you to a spider and we play solo.
Yeah.
All right. So, I can't do it. I can't keep it straight.
Yeah, you can.
I can't keep a straight
You're
face.
doing fine. Don't think about
All
it.
right. We'll get to him last. John?
Yeah.
The spicy one. The console hugger. The man who buys all the special editions so you don't have to. What's up, John?
Right. Hey, not much, guys. Just like Peter, I've been playing a lot of Ghost of Tsushima, and also been dabbling around in some other games. One I'm going to talk about later on the PlayStation VR, and got an interesting take on that one. Other than that, like I said, been playing a lot of Ghost, and I'm on Act 2, just kind of taking my time with it, enjoying it. I do have some Switch games I want to get to in the near future. But other than that, been busy at work. Looking forward to tomorrow, Friday. A lot of gaming planned for this week, so it should be good. Sorry, I'm a little nervous tonight. The guy next to me looks a little different than normal and making me kind of feel uneasy. He's kind of quiet tonight.
Better uneasy than queasy.
Right.
And then there's the guy in the middle.
That's. I meant the guy in the middle.
Hey, Super Cooper said he's busy. He's sneak peek play on gamers. Oh, you can start now. And what is up, Italian clowns? Our brother clowns from Four Guys with Quarters. We got all kinds of Gamers United Guild representing tonight in the chat room, of course, and guys for coming. So, and Frankie, love that Batman shirt, man.
Thanks.
So.
Game Crazy. Remember them?
I do remember them.
Yeah.
Yep. That was when Arkham Asylum came out. Their pre-order bonus was a T-shirt, so I went there.
Nice.
And it was a 3X, and I've finally grown into it. So
You finally grew into it.
finally grew into it.
You finally grew up.
Yep.
So-
It was. I think we were in Alaska or something when that game came out, like our last family vacation, and so I got back and went to pick my game up. He was like, "Oh, this is the only size I got left." I was like, "I don't care. I'll take it. Maybe it'll shrink. Who knows? Or years later I'll just get fatter and it'll fit. So
Whatever comes first.
yeah,
Whatever comes
exactly.
first. Well, that's what happens, when we get older. So.
Hey, so I'm doing the thing you're doing where I'm like kind of messing around with some older stuff.
Yeah.
I got an HDMI little switch box so I could actually hook more stuff up. So got the Wii hooked up so I can play some GameCube games. Got the Turbo Graphics hooked up finally.
Ooh.
And
An actual Turbo Graphics or the Retro Mini?
The Mini.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, and got the Dreamcast hooked up and played some baseball.
That's what I'm talking about.
I played sports ball.
Speaking of talking about baseball, actually this is football, but like 2K, they can make football games again with the actual licensed players.
What?
Except they can't use they can't make it a football simulation. Those are the only stipulations. So maybe we're gonna have a fun football game.
That'd be nice.
Oh, maybe.
I'd actually play
That's
that.
yeah. No, maybe someone will finally realize that EA is horrible for this.
Almost everything.
Yeah. No. Dan Rodriguez, he's got it figured out.
Yeah.
Hey, this is what happens when you miss the show. That's all I'm saying. So, you said you also hooked up. So you hooked up the TurboGrafx, the Dreamcast, and the Wii. My kids, Seth and Spencer, my youngest two, love the fact that I got their Wii hooked back up, and they are playing every bit of Mario Kart Wii and Mario Kart Double Dash for the GameCube that they can get their hands on. Yeah, they
That
love
was
it.
a good one.
So,
That was like the last good battle mode, I feel, too, in a Mario Kart game.
oh, they love playing the battle mode. Well, they love them some Mario Kart, I gotta say. So, Shizno, that's why I love you, man. That's why you're always welcome in our chat room. Dreamcast was so great. Definitely in my top 3 systems of all time. That's what I'm talking about. So, hey, Pete, what's up?
I did forget in the process of how playing a game that if you're playing it on like the PlayStation, you have the 2 analog sticks. How the Dreamcast, you got the D-pad.
You only have
An
one analog stick.
Yeah, it's like I was messing around with Tomb Raider. Which one did I grab? I don't even remember.
Last Revelation, I think, is the Dreamcast one.
They got
I think that's the one you. Is that the one you
Last
got?
Revelations. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one I was playing. Yeah, because I sent you guys a picture of it. Yeah, so I was messing around with that and just trying to play that thing with that controller. It's like, oh my god.
It's like Grand Theft Auto 2 on the Dreamcast, where you have to, where up and down is forward and back. You have to use the triggers to turn your guy and rotate him.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Man, it's crazy. Like back then, playing it like that felt so natural. Now it's like, who the hell thought of this?
Yeah, Monkey Punch. Man, all of our favorite people are coming in tonight. So they all want a piece of the ghost. So, this is what I have been playing all week, and what I can't put down at all. So, I have played nothing else. I want to play Grounded, and I'll get to some Grounded this week, but this weekend. But it's been all Ghost of Tsushima all the time. So, and around work. So,
Yeah.
Which is kind of why I look like this, because today was meetings from 8 a.m. to 7. So I was actually it's just it gets exhausting when you work and do nothing but meetings. So so here's what I want to do. I want to get to John and Frankie's stuff. Like I said, in lieu of my retro segment, we'll take that time to talk about the upcoming Intellivision Amico press conference that's coming up on Tuesday, and take a look at the funny video that Tommy put out, which actually was really cute. And then talk about some Ghost of Tsushima, and we can make this. We don't have to make this a real long night. You know, if we're done by 10:30, I think we'd all be happy. Sam from Salem, what's up, brother? Sam, and open every box. By the way, he's been playing Fable, Batman Begins on the OG Xbox, on the OG, and then playing some PSO2. So very nice.
That's what you have to look forward to if EA has the Batman license. That
can't happen. That can't happen.
Oh.
That can't happen. Phil's got to step in. He's got to step in and put the kibosh on that. Say, hold on, guys. Hey, wait a minute. Hold up.
Or make it so EA is broken, it'll fall apart.
Or he's just gonna, or Microsoft's just gonna have to buy EA and be done with it.
And do that too.
Shut them all down.
Yeah.
Close all the BioWare studios.
No, don't close down BioWare.
Yeah, like look, BioWare of like yesteryear is gone. I don't know what they have in there now, but those games are not anywhere near what they should be.
No, I agree.
All they have to do is just buy the IP and then hopefully recruit some guys that worked on the good stuff. Maybe want to
exactly.
Go back and work on it again.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that the Middle Earth IP is probably done, because Shadow of War was kind of an end to that series.
Oh my God, I got something really funny to tell you guys after the show is over. This has nothing to do with gaming, but unfortunately, I forgot to turn my Teams off, and my job has a 24/7, 24-hour help desk, and something just popped across from one of my service desk techs that has me scratching my head with a what the hell. But let me put it this way. Somebody was let go, and the company that we contract with for this person must not have told him, because he's had the last 2 days off, and he's wondering why he can't log into his stuff. Oh my God. So anyway, sorry. That is oh wow.
Just tell him he got hacked.
Don't worry, Pete. We're gonna do Ghost of Tsushima stuff a little later, so you can hang with us for now. So oh my God. I don't even know what to do with this. So, all right, you know what? John and Frankie, I'm going to let you guys get your stuff done first. While you're doing that, I might have to make a phone call or two while you guys are working, cuz oh my God.
Well,
I'm sorry. I am so distracted now. Before we do anything else, though, let me make sure I got it queued up. Oh, yeah. My other guy's like, should I tell him? No. Holy shit. Welcome to the life of Mike Mullis, like the real life of Mike Mullis. Oh my God, John, I'm gonna need this one more. Yes, have him talk to Talha. Have him talk. Sorry, guys. Oh my God, this is horrible. Oh my God.
What can you imagine if you weren't on Teams?
Oh man. Oh wow. And I'm the manager, so I knew this was happening. I was told this was happening. It's not my job to do it, but because we have an outsourced company bringing it in, and the outsourced company was supposed to do it and didn't. Oh my God. Luckily he can't get into any of our stuff, but that's the whole reason that he's asking one of the other guys. All right, I'm sorry. Okay. Back to gaming, back to NL. I think I got it under control. Johnny.
Yes, I'm sorry you had me mesmerized with that David Carradine kind of thing.
Well, it is Ghost of Tsushima night, so
right.
Snake. I got to get my snake style going. All right. Johnny, what's our product of the week?
The product of the week is when you're having trouble and you've fallen and you can't get up.
No, not that
The
one.
clapper.
Oh.
Clap on, clap off, clap on, clap off. The clapper.
Lets you turn things on or off from anywhere in the room. Just plug in the clapper and a television, lamp, stereo, almost anything you want to clap on and off.
Clap on, clap off, clap on, clap off. The clapper.
Clapper is available at Meijer, Perry, Hills, and Osco. Get yours today.
Oh, my God. The look on that lady's face when she came in and clapped on her lights was like heaven.
Well, those commercials were classic back then.
Oh, my God.
They were
The
still...
lady claps and her
24/7,
dentures fall out,
Oh, man. So, all right. It's just so says I feel old now. And welcome, LePanier. How's everyone? How you guys doing? How are you doing? Crispy. I think I said hi to Crispy, but if I didn't, what's up, Crispy Bomb? Okay. While I'm queuing up your... so I'm going to do... Since we did that, I'm going to get Frankie's finds and then come back, get John's VR, and then we'll get into some ghosts. But before I do that, there's something I want to say. John.
Yes, sir.
So, one of the things that has been a big topic of stuff this week, and I'm not going to dwell on it, but I just wanted to bring this up. So, whenever we talk about Game Pass and stuff like that,
Right.
you kind of break with us in that that's not your thing. So subscription-based stuff, not your thing. Right. But when you've done that, you've followed that with, but I don't, it doesn't bother me if anybody else does it. Right?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
This week on social media has been an absolute dumpster fire of people who are so upset over Game Pass just existing that it's like, if I can't have it, no, I don't want anybody to have it. Die in a fire, all that stuff. And I just wanted to let you know that makes me respect your take on it even more.
Well, here's the thing, Mike. Like I said, I've never talked bad about Game Pass. There are people that absolutely love it, and they should if that's good for them. I'm just not a subscription service type guy. And when I've said the reasons why, I give valid reasons, and I've never badmouthed Xbox for it. If you want that kind of service and you want to spend the money on it, and it's good for you and your family, then you should do that. But there is, on the other side of the coin, there are those of us that already have a lot of subscription services that we pay for, and we just don't want another one. And that's kind of the boat that I fall in. Also, like I've said, getting around, it's great to have all those games on a subscription service, but time is an issue for me. So finding the time to play all those games to make use of what I'm paying for is really hard, especially when you pay on multiple consoles. But I have all the respect in the world for if people want to buy Game Pass and use it and they like it, they should. And I'll never say anything bad about it. I mean, it's a service, it's a choice. And like other choices, you can either choose to buy it or choose not to. It's really not that much to be arguing about. It's not.
That's the funny thing. It's not.
It's the direction that Xbox is going in. PlayStation's going in another direction, obviously. And I like the fact that they're actually not going in the same direction. I don't want a world full of subscription services. I want a traditional console, and then if you want this and you want subscription services, you can go that route as well. So, it's all about choice. But never in a million years would I sit there and berate and belittle Xbox fans or anybody that wants to pay for that service.
See, there you go.
There you go.
And that's really what I wanted to say, was that of all the stuff that's been going on this week, that's been your take on it. And I've got a ton of respect for that opinion, and I just watching this week, I just wanted to tell you that.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
I like to have both. You know why? Like I bought Forza Horizon the Ultimate Edition on disc because first of all I got it like dirt cheap, but then with the Game Pass and the game was in Game Pass and now I can start it up digitally, without putting that disc in and still have all my Ultimate goodies.
Absolutely. And Niall and I have talked about it too, and he's had a very similar thing to you, John. It's not a thing. Now he's looking at it again, but he used to tell me, Mike, I've got all those games, so it doesn't benefit me. But he's never said it's trash. You've never said, oh, it's trash.
No, I never.
And it's just it's so I just wanted to tell you that, man. I just wanted to tell you that I appreciate the perspective. So, and by the way, I also want to say hi real quick to. Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I just want to say hi real quick to Jago and Crazy Juan's in the house. Our brother Crazy Juan and Invader. So now we got all of the remaining Gamers Guild United representing. So let's say hi to everybody. Anyway, go ahead, John.
No, I'm just going to reiterate that. Yeah, it's always good to have choice. And like I said, if you want to pay for it and you want to buy it and you enjoy it, then and if it's good for you, then you should have that.
Yeah, as long as you have choice, we're good.
That's part of the reason I came on this podcast. I play on different consoles, and I'm not tied down to one specifically. Even on PlayStation, I can't say I'm really like totally sucked in with any of these companies. So
nobody should be. That's it's great to love what you love, but
it's good that they all offer something different because, like I said, if they were all the same and they all offered the same games, I think it'd be I love exclusive games. I love Nintendo for their games. I love Xbox for their exclusive PlayStation, and it gives me a reason to buy the consoles.
Yep. So
we love games, regardless.
Yep, exactly.
I love games. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which is why we're all here. What did we call it? Frankie's Fine. Is Frankie's? We haven't done this in a while. The hell do we call this segment, Frankie?
Something about save files, right?
Yes, thank you. Oh, God. There we go. Okay. Come on. Here we go. All right. So, this week's Frankie's Game Files, which we haven't done in a couple of weeks. And this is where Frankie finds some games out of the game store that are on sale that you should have. And, of course, you probably have not played or heard of. All right.
Probably heard of at least one of these.
Perhaps. Which one do you want to start with?
We'll go with Xbox.
All right.
You bought this, right?
Not yet.
Oh, such a good
I'm going
price.
to. I'm going for that price. Yeah. All right. Here we go.
So, this game's $2.99 right now, and I gotta say, if you're a fan of shoot 'em ups, Mike,
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the best shoot 'em ups that's come out in recent years. Big fan of this game, so the price it's at right now is, I think, the cheapest it's been. So $2.99 nets you Hyper Sentinel. Definitely worth your time. Like I said, especially if you're a shoot 'em up fan, this is definitely gonna scratch that itch. I love this game. It has a great soundtrack too.
It has a Dreadnought Factor vibe. Mm-hmm. If anybody ever played the game Dreadnought Factor on the Intellivision, it's got a Dreadnought Factor vibe to it.
Yeah, this is one I saw it. I was like, oh, Mike should probably buy this game.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, it's really good.
So $2.99. All right.
$2.99.
Are you $2.99?
It's a bargain.
Yeah. Wow, this looks crazy.
Yeah.
Hashtag stop them. All right. Nice. How many levels does this game have?
I want to say, God, I don't remember. I think 6.
Okay. All right. Indie Gamer wants to know when it came out. Do you remember when it came out?
No.
Okay.
I think it's been a couple years.
All right. All right. So that's one down. Now let's take a look at what's over on the PS4 side.
So, see, enhance, Res Infinite.
Mm-hmm.
Eh?
Mm-hmm.
So, I was laughing because this, this got announced at the Xbox show that that this game's coming to Xbox later this year with their Connect DLC, which I think adds like some kind of online mode, if I'm not mistaken. But it's been out on PlayStation for a couple years now. The soundtrack actually just finally became available on Bandcamp and I think a bunch of other online retailers. So excellent music. Obviously, it's Tetris, but this version of the game, if you buy it on PlayStation, there is a VR mode I've never messed with because I got this game like post me having a VR headset. But yeah, it's on sale right now for $19.99. It's normally a $40 game. So if you got a PS4, you're interested, and you saw this announcement on the Xbox thing, and we're like, man, that looks cool. I want to play some Tetris. Like, go grab it on the PS4 right now. It's great that that expansion will be coming to the PS4 and PC. I think they said next summer. So it'll be on Xbox, I think, for like 6 months before it comes over there. But yeah, so I don't know if any of you guys had the VR headset. You buy this, you want to check out that mode, let me know how it is, because I have no idea what it entails. But yeah, so Tetris Effect, 1999.
Nice. Sounds like that could be a future VR segment.
Oh, yeah.
Nice. By the way, I heard a giant crack of thunder behind me, so we have storms rolling in. On the off chance that the podcast abruptly ends, would only be because my power would go out. So, just in case, folks.
So in that case, thank you for
Just
watching.
in case. Yeah, right. So,
Well, I should be safe on this rock I'm standing next to. Craig Williams guy.
right. Anybody's going to get struck by lightning, it's him. All right. Nice.
Yeah, talking about struck by lightning. You see my my Ghost of Tsushima video where I got
I
struck
did
by
see
lightning?
that, Peter. I
That was
mean,
like, bang. Like, whoa, what happened?
so that was actually the lightning hit.
Yeah,
When you were on that little rock plateau.
me on that
there.
rock. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny.
All right.
Didn't hurt him at all. That was weird. It's like, okay,
Rat farts.
yeah.
Anyway, gets that reference. So how old I am. All right. So next up is Ready Player John. So John, we're gonna take a shot at this. Let me cue this up. So since we have an issue with the one thing about OBS is I can't yet control video. I'm gonna try something new.
That's okay. You do your thing. I got enough to talk about that I can fill it in pretty good. So,
Dude, your video's an hour and 27 minutes.
Yes. So I've got plenty of time to get this in.
No, we're gonna try. Here's what we're gonna try. We're gonna try showing the video from your YouTube page, and we'll see how this goes. And you can tell me where to move around while I'm getting a hold
Well,
of.
first of all, before we get started, you can start playing it. But the last quarter of the video, there's a lot of action. But this week, Sharknado VR, ladies and gentlemen, and I bought this game because I was a big fan of the movie series on the Sci-Fi Channel. There's actually 6 movies been made on Sharknado, and obviously there's enough of a following to where it's been kind of a cult following popularity thing. And I've always loved this. It's corny. It's over the top. I mean, you've got these giant tornadoes coming in. It's invading the United States, all the countries around the world. You've got sharks twirling in the air. And, you got stars like Ian Ziering and Tara Reid who are fighting these sharks, and they're using machine guns, explosives, you name it, rocket launchers, pistols. So when this game popped up, I thought, man, this is actually kind of cool. I could actually see this working for a VR game. And, I think the game was like $8.99 or something. It wasn't that expensive. But I also knew that going into it, I didn't know what to expect. This game originally released back in 2018 on the Oculus Rift. So it's been out before. So this is the PlayStation VR version. Right here, it shows level 1 in Los Angeles, but the game takes you from Los Angeles to New York all the way to Area 4, which actually takes place in Kansas, a little farmhouse setting. You have weapons like pistols, shotguns, rocket launchers, chainsaws, assault rifles. And while you're playing this game, you are required to use the PlayStation Move controllers. Now, the first thing, I think this game is going to be an example of what not to buy because when I played it, it is fun and I actually had a little bit of fun playing it, but I can't say I would really recommend this game, but being a fan of Sharknado, I had to try it. The controls, the first part, the controls are very awkward. You can strafe to the right and to the left on the screen, but on the Move controllers, you're using all the little buttons, the triangle, circle, X, square, the pad on the front, the triggers on the back, and in my honest opinion, there's just too many buttons to be using, and it's just kind of awkward. And until you get the hang of it and you find out that you can kind of stay in one particular spot and you can just strafe to the left or right. But as you see here, sharks will fly through the air out of the tornado, and as the level starts, the lightning will strike down. And that's where the sharks are coming from. Just like the movie where the storm erupts, that's where the sharks are. So you'll have hammerheads, your classic garden variety sharks, and they come whirling and twirling towards you.
Garden variety shark.
So as you can see here on the middle of the screen, there's a counter. It says number 7. And each level gets harder, and you may start off like at 15 or 20. That's how many sharks you have to destroy to get past the level. There goes the little hammerhead, the little prehistoric thing. And you've got 5 lives to start off with. And as you're playing, you may run out of ammo, and then you'll see once you run out of ammo, usually you start off with 2 weapons. Once you run out of ammo, and then you can go to like your melee weapon, like a chainsaw. Once you run out of ammo, you'll see a little ammo deposited on the screen, and you can run over and grab more ammo. And as these sharks are flying by, the first time I was playing it, I was real aggravated because they're flying really fast at you. And I'm like, God dang, I can't kill them that fast. But the goal is just to take as much damage off of them as you can as they come by, and they'll keep coming by on a second wave. And then you'll eventually, they just keep coming until you destroy all the sharks. This game graphically, this is not one of the prettier VR games I played. I mean, it's not like any of them are just like jaw-dropping, but this game looks like a really old game. It almost looks like an old Nintendo 64 game as we would see them now. The characters, it's just really dated. The downside of the game, it's only got 1 music track through all 4 levels. So the whole time you're playing, it's like the same music track, and it's almost enough to drive you insane. But as I was playing this, oddly enough, by the time I got to the last level, which takes place in Kansas, and there's this huge giant shark, and then there's stage props that you're shooting at that do things to help you take out the boss. Oddly enough, I found myself kind of enjoying this game. So I'm kind of torn on this, guys. It's not like I would recommend it, but it's one that if you got the extra cash and you want to spend $7 or $8 to experience this, you got to try it because I've never played anything quite like it.
I'm still going back to you putting the words "I'm a fan of Sharknado" into a sentence.
Oh man, I'm a huge fan, and the main reason is it was just so over the top. Every time I'd get on Twitter, every time that they would do the Sharknado, they'd always announce it, and I'd go nuts over it because I knew that Ian Ziering was going to save the day. I know that my man from the Peach Pit, Beverly Hills 90210, he was going to step inside that shark with the chainsaw and saw himself out. And Tara Reid, what a cutie, So yeah.
This is true.
But there's such a cult following of that. I mean, they wouldn't have made 6 shows,
It was there's like 7 of them.
Yeah, and then the stories got crazier. But the best moment that I loved out of all the Sharknado movies, I can't stand what's his name, Bret Michaels from Poison. So I can't remember if it was in episode 5 or 6 of Sharknado. One of those sharks came swooping in and took Bret Michaels out, and I was like, yes, So that's my love affair with Sharknado. But this game was so funny. I mean, sometimes these big sharks will come flying in, and you'll see right there's the chainsaw. And there goes a big hammerhead, and they come in, and all of a sudden you may damage them a little bit, and sometimes they'll flop behind you, and you won't notice them. So you got to do like a quarter turn using your buttons on the motion controllers, and you're sitting there, and you're either shooting the sharks or blowing them up. Oddly enough, the chainsaw is probably the most powerful weapon in the game. You could probably stand there and hold that thing up in the air. You do have a jump button that jumps up, but it like launches you like 20 foot in the air, and it's kind of floaty. It doesn't.
Crawler doing?
It's like the Halo jump, and yeah. This.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Hey,
Niall said, oh yeah, every time I cut the grass, I come across garden sharks.
that right there about broke my heart, because what happens, there's these little challenges along the way, guys. And one of them, there's this lady, and she's pushing a baby carriage across the stage. So I saw that thing come out, and I was like, damn, I can't even use the controller yet. I can't save myself, let alone a baby and a child. And like a couple sharks hit her in the head, and she flops on the ground, and she's dead, and it says challenge lost. And I was like, well, I didn't even have a chance,
Oh my God.
So yeah, but there's some really corny things. I mean, even on the Kansas stage, there's a flying cow that's going around. It's kind of got the Wizard of Oz thing going.
Where can I skip to?
Yeah, skip to the last quarter of the video. Probably, I don't know, 23 minutes, maybe 22 minutes. I might be in Kansas.
You're not in Kansas
Here we
anymore,
go.
Toto.
There's the truck with the corn. Yeah, and the silos behind it. You got to fill up that truck with corn and launch it into the shark's mouth, and then you ignite the corn and destroy it. And then you save humanity. Yes. Oh, and you get special power-ups along the way. There's your weapons. Every once in a while, after you clear a level and you score enough points, there's a little weapon wheel that shows up, and you can move with your left move controller, and you get little power-ups like maybe explosive ammo, ricochet ammo that does more damage. So it's there's a fun factor to it. You got your little cards, and they tell you what they do.
I was wondering if this was move compatible or not.
But like I said, there's just, for as simple as game this is, Mike, there's just it's too complicated. They had a great idea here that could have been a lot of fun. Unfortunately, it's not as great as the movie series that we love and adore.
Again, putting that into a sentence.
Right.
Oh my God.
It's awesome. I mean,
Sharknado.
Yeah, what's funny, by the end of the 27 minutes, I had actually, after streaming the game the other night, I had actually beat the whole thing. Now, I didn't unlock all the trophies, so it's a very short game if you're playing. But for some reason, I just couldn't put it down. As corny as is, I mean, it's fun to play.
You realize you have to platinum this now.
Oh, I know. Well, I don't know, because I got to save that lady and her child, that bonus level. I can't. I don't know if I can do it. I'm going to have to find the fortitude. I could find my inner Ian Ziering maybe and save the day.
Stand on top of her with a chainsaw.
Daz, I didn't say when I was going to paint my walls.
This is a great idea, though, if they would have just did a good job on it. It's made by Autumn VR, so I don't know. Like I said, it came out on the Oculus Rift back in 2018. I don't know what all they've been involved in, but still kind of fun to play. I mean, it's $8. $7, $8.
All right. Well, there you have it. Sharknado.
Hey.
Oh man.
John's Game of the Year.
Move over, Iron Man.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
it makes you appreciate Iron Man even more.
All right. Well, thank you, sir. Wave over. Okay. So, let's see. Where did I? Oh, that's right. That's a. That seemed to work out pretty well. Doing it on YouTube. This might be what we do going forward. That way, when we have to skip to a place, and we'll do that for Craig's Game Pass stuff that he does. So.
Greg Pass.
The Craig Pass.
Oh, there's that big shark boss. Yeah.
Oh,
you're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
No, Shark Boss.
Yeah, that's the guy that you got. There's some props on the Kansas screen where you shoot at a truck or at the silos and it fills it up with grain and corn, and then you launch the grain and corn inside its mouth. Yeah, and then you eventually blow it up. It's kind of reminiscent of the ending to Jaws 1, the first movie. You know.
Dude, that looks like one of the bad guys from Gears of War.
Right. And he goes in stages. For a while there, you can see his health go down. But when it drops down so low, all of a sudden, he puts out his little ads, his little characters around him to help fight him. And actually, you got to stop shooting him because the longer you keep shooting him, you actually give him back hit points. You actually have the stage props to defeat him. You can't just outright kill him. Uh-huh. So it does add a little challenge.
Okay. Well, those sharks aren't in Kansas anymore.
No.
All right. Sharknado. All right, so let's move along. See, I'm not as with it a host that I could just go, next topic like Pete. Pete keeps us all in line during the Amico All Access show. I go to say something. It's like, no, Mike, we're moving on.
He has a tight schedule.
He does. Runs a tight ship over there.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
All right. Pete knows I love him.
You need a lot of time to open every box, though.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, I'm going to show you guys this video. So next Tuesday, on August 4th, is the Intellivision press conference. Finally going to get a chance to see everything going on with the Intellivision Amico. Now, if you've ever watched our show, if you've ever watched Pete's channel, if you've ever watched Retro Rich Hayward, any of those guys, any of the great guys that are in the chat, then that we've all got a chance to see some stuff. Atari Creep. We've seen bits and pieces of the Intellivision Amico stuff. We've gotten a chance. Tommy's come on and he's shown us the controller, and we get a little, sometimes a little behind the scenes. We got to see Breakout because that's out on trailer. We got to see the racing games. He put out the Cloudy Mountain video a little while back. But now, this is going to be like a 30 to 40 minute official unveiling of the Intellivision Amico. And he set it up with a couple of videos. One came out last week. One came out yesterday. And I'm going to show you the better one, honestly. The better one's actually the first one. Last time he came on here, he talked to us about, some of the challenges that they've had with getting their stuff tested, because everything's shut down in California. So, getting FCC testing and getting stress testing of the stuff done has all been really tough. So, to kind of play along that and have a little fun with it, he put out this video, and let me share out so you guys can see and hear it. For those of you who hadn't seen it, some of this is really funny. I will talk while he's talking. 1 o'clock p.m. I'm sorry. I think it's 9 o'clock a.m. on the West Coast, 12 o'clock p.m. on the East Coast. We, of course, aren't going to do a live show because most of us have to work. So please go to Pete's channel. Pete's going to be doing live react. I'm going to be in the chat room. Definitely, I mean, Gamers United Guild brother. So we support our brothers. Check him out. And this is I've watched this like 4 or 5 times. It's really funny. Turn it up a little bit. This can't actually be in Television HQ, by the way.
Hey, yo, Tommy, you got a minute?
Yo, yeah, meet me out there by the dock.
Look at the Tron poster in the background.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Hey, we got our first shot plastics in, and we're ready to do some stress testing.
Very cool. What's that entail? Seems okay. Let's try higher.
Keep an eye on the checklist, guys.
There?
The checklist is funny too.
Here we go. How about now? Oh, Nelly!
A reference to Earthworm Jim, by the way.
I think we need to get more creative. What?
No, don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, this made me cringe every time he does. Every time I watch it.
Oh, yeah.
Lazy Susan.
That's like that Don Matrick video.
Oh my god. Okay, it's all right. It's all right.
Acid, nuclear waste. Swimming pool. Train track depression. Recession, insult, and cow. Cow is another reference to by the way. Oh. No sword.
Right?
Hold A for horse.
Well, this is a sign that Red Dead Redemption 3 is coming to the Amico.
Working. All right, what's next?
We got one more controller to test, strapped to the engine.
The engine? All right, well, let's take her up to speed.
I'm pretty sure that is his Ferrari, too.
Tommy, I'm just trying to hold down my lunch.
Bubbles.
All right, what's next?
May I direct your attention over here?
Yeah.
God, man, that's like some 80s Airwolf music. I love it.
It ain't gonna come back anytime soon.
It's my favorite part. Hold on. My favorite line.
I wonder if that rocket controller ever came down today.
Tommy, I think that rocket control is halfway to the moon by now.
Yeah, moon. Hey, I bet that ain't on your checklist. Moon.
Grandma.
Wouldn't that be something?
Procession insults.
Discovery, this is Houston. Over.
Go ahead, Houston.
Mark your schedule for the Intellivision Amico online press conference broadcast, August 4th. Confirm?
Oh, man.
Sorry, say again, Houston?
August 4th. Set your receiver to Intellivision YouTube channel for the Amico reveal and online stream. 10 a.m. Pacific time.
So that was one of two. Hold on one second, sorry. So that is one of two videos that he put out that kind of made fun of the lack of stress testing that they're officially able to do, and so you know, a couple of things on this too. You know, number one, and Crazy Juan's got it right. Clever not to take it too seriously. You know, he's trying to have a little fun, trying to get some attention. And the other thing, though, is, and we were talking about this last night on the All Access, Amico All Access on Pete's channel. We don't know what it means that he's doing this. Does it mean that it's kind of a foregone conclusion at this point that the console is going to get delayed, because he can't get what he needs to get done? I mean, you know, to be real honest, Microsoft and Sony haven't announced their dates either. I mean, they just haven't. So, you know, obviously, Intellivision isn't going to get the same attention from manufacturers as the Xbox and PlayStation. So, you know, if they're having trouble even locking down what their true release date is, Lord knows that, you know, Tommy is probably not able to get, you know, his 10/10 date for the Amico, which is kind of sad. Because I know, you know, he talked about it when he was here last, and you saw him get emotional. You know what 10/10 means to him. Right. And, you know, but he's also cognizant of the fact that he's not going to put out a product that isn't ready. And so, you know, we could be looking at Q1 before we get our hands on it, even us Founders Edition owners. But you know, that video shows he's taken everything in stride right now, and you know, I love the energy. I continue to love that man's energy and what he's trying to do to keep us going as well. So, what are you guys looking for on Tuesday? You know, obviously this isn't going to be the PlayStation or Xbox showcase, but we're going to start seeing some games and stuff like that. What is there anything specific you're looking for? I know I have a couple of my own, but what are you guys looking for?
Just you know, the whole startup thing. You know, maybe the store. How can we buy games? Just the look and feel of the whole UI. Having games on it, so, and you know, what do those games do to the console with the lighting and all that stuff.
Anything from the game side, like any specific games that you've?
No, I just like to see them all. What's coming out day one? What's in the box? You know, those pack-ins. Fantastic that they do that, by the way.
Oh my god, and the fact that one of the pack-ins is one of my favorite games on the old system. I mean, packing Astro Smash into that game, into the system is unbelievable. So, Well, what about you,
I'm
Johnny?
looking forward to that one as well as the skiing.
Yes.
I forgot what other backends there were.
So it's Astro Smash, Shark,
Oh,
skiing,
Shark, yeah,
yep, skiing, Farkle, which is the dice game, and Cornhole. So.
Yeah, cool.
What about you, Johnny? What are you looking for?
Oh, I'm looking forward. Pretty similar to Peter. I mean, the whole package, what the system can do. I'm kind of interested. You know, Tommy showed us before playing the games what they used to look like and what they look like now. So I'm kind of interested in that. Astro Smash is a big game. I'm also interested in that Evil Knievel one. You know, with the bike and that. I'm kind of looking. That's one that when I saw that really caught my eye.
Oh, and Breakout too.
And Breakout, yeah. Great.
I'm always that big Breakout guy.
But yeah, I mean, just in general, it's going to be nice to see, you know, it's always nice to learn more and to have something go out to the public, you know, not just on podcast stuff, but, you know, out there for everybody, you know, and be real interesting. Like I said, I could tell Tommy he's taken it in stride. Like I said, he looked a little concerned about the launch window, getting it out, you know, on time. But I do like his sense of humor with everything because, I mean, that's why we all game to have fun. And if you can't have fun, even in the darkest of times, that's what gaming's all about, you know. So seeing that makes me feel positive about, you know, the Amico and going forward. So I'm really looking forward to this. If it does get delayed, you know, I can't say I won't be sad. I think because we were all looking forward to it. But it's not the end of the world. And I know that when it comes out, it'll be a quality product, you know.
Yeah. So, Frankie, what about you?
Like Peter mentioned, Breakout. I'm a big Breakout fan myself, so looking forward to finally getting a date on that. But outside of what you guys all said, I'm curious if they have, because, you know, they were talking before how they don't want to release a bunch of games at once. They want to do a game at a time. Like, I'm wondering if they have like a roadmap for the next, you know, like launch period, like what we can expect in terms of releases. And I'd really love to see them. Like, I know he briefly talked about physical stuff. Like, I kind of want to see what that's going to entail. So I don't know what exactly they're planning, but I want to see whatever it is they're going to do for physical stuff. So it's really all I'm interested in seeing. Otherwise, I just know I'm buying that console and I'm going to play the shit out of it.
That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line right there. So, hey, real quick, I want to say hi to Blues Tech. So Blues Tech finally on West Coast Blues Tech now. So he moved over to be with his brother Jeremy, and I'm glad to see him back up and running. He's got his computer hooked up, and he's in the chat. So price Indy says has price been confirmed. So I do know that the Founders Edition is $299. That's what we've paid for. The price overall has not been confirmed, and the last time Tommy was on with us, he did kind of hint that it's possible that they could fluctuate the price a little bit. Now, one thing that he did talk about on Amico All Access that we didn't ever talk about was they did make a change to the design. Instead of 16 gigs of RAM internal for game storage, he moved it to 32 to give us more room for games. But to offset that cost, there were apparently 2 USB ports in the back for, I guess, charging extra controllers. He took those out. The console itself, the base, is still going to wirelessly charge the controllers. Or not wirelessly, but you know it's going to have. Well, yeah, because it's going to have the little things on the back, the little connector. And then of course, you could charge those, take them off, charge 2 more, and apparently you could charge the controllers with regular USB like plug-ins, so you can use a regular USB charger and do it that way too. So, so that's one of the design changes, and. When he said that, I kind of that's where I kind of started to think that maybe we're not going to get this thing in October too, because they're making design changes this late in the game. These consoles they've got to get their final form now if they want to have any chance to.
I mean,
to
before
launch.
they can get the whole FCC stamp of approval jazz on it, right?
Right. And so, yeah, the deadline that he had talked about last time he was here with us was August 1st, which is the deadline that I think a lot of shipping stuff that ships in the fall, or in that pre Black Friday time is going to need to do. So, we'll find out on Tuesday. That's for sure. And then I did ask him if he wanted to come on Thursday with us to talk about all the good stuff that I'm hoping he shows. I'm not hoping. I know he's going to show good stuff. I'm looking for B-17 Bomber. That's one of the games that I'm looking for.
Right.
I need to see that.
Crazy Juan had a question on there. He was asking if they had any games where you could actually, while you're playing, switch between the old mode and new mode. I could have swore one of those games there were, Mike.
Asteroids.
Where you could Asteroids. That's what it was.
But it's not what you think. It's not like you could switch back and forth like on the fly. Apparently, there's a power up in the game that switches it to original mode. So, that's one of them. I had not heard of any others, but that would be. I've asked about that, and that's a cool concept. But I think he wants to concentrate on that. I think we're also going to hear more about Moon Patrol, and I'm hoping maybe we're going to get the bigger Moon Patrol demo on our Amico apps on our phones. Cause every once in a while I roll it out and I play it, but it reminds me that it's only 20 seconds long. So, but I still love that demo. So I'm hoping to get the bigger demo. So, yeah, B-17 is the one I'm looking for the most. I'm really excited, and the rest is going to be just great stuff anyway. So, we're going to find out. I'm hoping about games like Burger Time, Breakout, of course, like you guys like, and I like Breakout too. But there's other games for me, to go on. We may get our first look at MLB baseball because he does have, remember he got the MLB. But yeah, so we're gonna find out, and hopefully he'll come on with us on Thursday and talk about it. So.
And what time is that again? Tuesday, Mike?
I thought I said 9, but it might be 9:30 because Pete said he was starting at 9:30. So.
It might be 10 then.
Maybe it is. Maybe it's 10 and 1. Let's do this. Let me make sure I'm right. As I'm frequently not. So let me make sure we're giving people the correct time. Pete, if you're in there, let us know what the time is, because you're doing the reaction. Actually, let me get to the back end of this video. It is, here we go, 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. And then 6 p.m. UK, 7 p.m. Germany.
Okay.
So, and we're all hanging out at Pete's house. So. All right. So that is the Intellivision press conference, and I'm looking forward to it. I am very much looking forward to it. So, okay, let me get the last topic. All right, Pete, if you're still in the chat room there, this is the time in which you want to maybe, well, you know what? I don't think we're going to do much in the way of spoilers, because, I mean, this isn't necessarily The Last of Us 2 as far as the story goes. I mean, it's a pretty long story, but it's not. I don't think our discussion about the game is going to really spoil anything about it. It's a. Let me pull up some gameplay here. It's a samurai. It's a samurai game.
Yeah. It doesn't have as much of a deep story like in The Last of Us. So.
Right. So here you go, Daz. And since the yellow is blinding you so much, the game's in black and white. So so Ghost of Tsushima or however in the world you actually
Tsushima.
Yeah, I
Tsushima.
keep hearing it both ways. I keep hearing some people say Tsushima, and I've said Tsushima because that's the way I heard it, and then I heard Tsushima. So whichever way, I don't care. It's a freaking awesome game. That's the bottom line. So, and let me turn this down because while I'm playing the game, how is it recording? Gaming Beyond the Box. I was listening to it last night while I was recording this last bit of footage, and somehow it got pulled into the video. I don't know how. I didn't have a party going or a headset on or anything. That's weird. Maybe the microphone on the controller picked it up. That's weird. Anyway, so here is Ghost of Tsushima, and all of us here have played it. Some of you have gotten farther than others,
Mike is playing the original version. It's still in black and white.
Yes. So
John and I are playing the...
Yes, Mike is playing the Kurosawa mode.
Yes. So I all the way Kurosawa mode, Japanese dub, and English subtitles. Like, I wanted the experience that I kept hearing about, and full stop, I got that experience. Like, you could even see, if you look carefully enough, you see the little imperfections in the background, like it's a movie playing, like it's an old reel-to-reel movie, and I got my ass kicked there. I don't know why, but just an outstanding presentation. And I will remind people, this footage is base PS4. This is not Pro. This is a base PS4. I'm gonna open up another video because this is just me going across the beach. There's the Lost Sea thing with the boat. Well, so I'll find something.
The only problem we have with this one was there are some missions where you have to, hunt for a particular or looking for a particular color flowers.
Right.
Yes.
Color.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think you and I were in the chat. Oh, maybe is that what you recorded? No. And so you were saying like, hey, can't see the color of the flowers.
Can't see the color of the flowers. I had to turn off Kurosawa mode for that.
Well, plus there's so much foliage in the game, from the bamboo, the trees, the wind blowing, and the leaves. Then you got all the flowers. If you can't see the color, it can be an issue.
Yeah, go look for the violet flowers.
Right.
Okay, so the darker shade of gray.
Yeah.
All right, so impressions, gentlemen. Let's see if we could do this without giving away, too much of the story for guys like Pete who haven't played it yet. But let's get some impressions. Let's start with you, Peter.
It's in the beginning I had a rough time with it, just coming from playing The Last of Us 2, which is one of my Game of the Year contenders. So it's kind of like, when I compare it to this, it's like I had a rough time. I was not enjoying myself as much as I'm enjoying myself now with the game. Also, like, once you pass, like, I don't know, first few hours where you have to do some, forced to do certain missions, that the game opens up and you can basically, do your own thing. At that point, the game starts to become fun. And what I found is, like, you have a whole bunch of armor you can wear, and there's not a whole lot of difference between the armor, in my opinion, except when you're wearing like one of the armor, which is a farmer's armor, it will show you more things on the map. It defogs it quicker, as well as it alerts you when there are like collectibles nearby, and your controller vibrates, and the closer you are, the stronger the vibrations.
Yeah, I wore the Traveler's armor, the Traveler's attire a lot when I wasn't fighting.
Yeah, me too. It's my primary armor, and then when I have a duel or whatever, the standoff, I quickly switch, just in case it does help. But that's more all about timing. Except now I have a piece of armor where I can hit during a standoff. I can slice like 5 times, 5 enemies. So it's pretty cool.
I was wondering why I couldn't get to that yet.
Yeah, you have to find that one armor that I told you about. Don't want to tell it here because then there's spoilers.
Yeah, don't spoil it. Don't even spoil it for me. No, I am going to put on a different... Well, you know what, though? This is a decent mission. Let me see if I can do one that doesn't really give away a whole lot of the main story, though. So,
one thing that I'm disappointed is, like, quite often I find those fox shrines or the other shrines without ever seeing that bird or that fox. And I thought that was the main thing, the bird or the foxes will guide you to the shrines, not a question mark on the map.
I love being able to do that too, by the way, with when your sheets are stored. That old style way of either wiping the blood off on your arm or flicking it down.
You don't control it, do you?
Yes. Swipe
There
right.
you do?
Yep. Swipe right.
Oh, to put it back in your...
To sheath your sword. Yep.
Yeah. No, yeah, I know that.
Oh, whether or not you can... Oh, well, I think it's just random whether or not how he does it.
Right.
So... Now, I'm wearing the Samurai Clan armor. I have noticed that you can take... Especially when you start powering them up, you can take more hits with the Samurai Clan armor.
Right.
It seems like everything else, though, is cosmetic. So.
Right, and you use those flowers that you find, for different dyes on your,
Gray or dark gray.
In your case, yeah.
Oh,
50
right.
Shades of Gray.
Oh. All right. So as we continue our discussion on this, Johnny.
Oh yeah, man! I started playing this, and Sucker Punch, man, what an amazing job they did. Now, like Peter, when I first started playing it, the first 2 or 3 hours, I really liked it. I just come off playing The Last of Us 2, and I liked it. But as I got 4 or 5 hours into it, man, the game really resonated with me. It has kind of that Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon kind of feel to it. The lore in the game with the Mongols, and you got your Japanese lore, and just the beauty of this game. And of course, I'm playing on the PS4 Pro, but the beauty of this game, the lighting in this game is phenomenal. And it's different because you have some scenes that you go through in villages and they look okay, and the character models look okay, and then you'll go across other scenes, and it's like some of the most beautiful footage I've ever seen. So it's kind of a mixed bag on that. It goes from really great to good graphics, but all in all, man, what a wonderful job. And the thing I like about it, the game's just fun to play. It's easy to pick up. You have 4 samurai stances that you do: stone, water, wind, and the moon stance.
Oh yeah, the moon.
And then you've got later on the ghost dance later on when you get far enough. All right. But
I haven't got there yet.
But the game is fun to play, and you have ranged weapons. You've got weapons that you can throw, like the kunai, the throwing knives. The little Inari shrines that Peter was talking about with the foxes. Actually, I did come across. Usually, you'll come across a fox den, and then you'll follow a little fox, and he'll lead you to the shrine. But I actually, just through traveling, because it's completely open world, I did find some shrines before I found the fox.
Yeah.
And,
Oh,
you
you
know,
never
it just-
seen the fox. It's like, oh dang, the fox is kind of cute. You know,
But-
especially after you can, you know, you do your little thing at the shrine, and then you can pet the fox.
Yes.
But
you
the
get
game's
you don't get a trophy
awesome.
for that, do you?
No,
Okay.
there's a
'cause
trophy for visiting so many shrines, I think.
All right, because I got almost all the
But-
shrines open.
Yeah.
At least on the
I
first
need
part
to
of the
find
map.
like I don't know how many. You know, there are more shrines than there are trophy points for it. I can quickly check.
It's really cool though, Mike. It's got, I mean, along the way you've got main hubs like little towns where you go to where you can, you know, upgrade your armor, you can upgrade your weapons, and that's what I like about it. There's a lot of customization in this game, not just collectibles. Now, when we were talking about the armor thing, at first I thought the armor was just kind of cosmetic. You know, the Traveler's armor, of course, you know, makes your controller vibrate when you're, and then you can also upgrade that armor. So when you're even further away, the controller will vibrate, letting you know if you're near a collectible.
Yeah.
Later on, when you get to Act 2, the enemies actually get stronger. They're using fire on their weapons and stuff like that. So I did notice when I swapped back and forth, and I actually increased my difficulty level on the game from medium to hard. Like when you start playing the game, you can increase the difficulty level at any time. I noticed before I increased it up, though, the armor did make a difference with the higher level characters, but I went ahead and increased the level anyway, and I've been having a blast with it. The story's good. It's got, and there's actually more storyline as you get on, like Peter said, and you guys, as you get further into it, if you really pay attention to the little subplots and understand about the 5 families and stuff in this game, you really get to learn a lot more about this game. So it's been one of my favorites this year. It's like candy. You can't put it down. You start playing and you're like, oh, I'll just do a couple more missions. 5 or 6 hours later, you're still playing.
Yep.
You know, and you don't care because you're having fun.
Yeah.
So I give the game 2 thumbs up. Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
I think after you know, complete that first map, and you know you reach to that one particular point, it's like, for me, it was like if the game would have been done with, I would have been satisfied. But then it's like, you know, then you have the second part of the map, and you still have to travel back to the first part of the map in order to get, you know, some things that you need for some missions. And it's like, I was a little bummed out about that.
All right. So Frankie, how much time have you gotten into it?
I give it a thumb up.
A thumb. All right. Single.
A good thumb.
A good thumb.
It used
a
to
good,
be like a mad thumb, but I give it a thumb up.
a good thumbing.
A good thumbing.
All right, Frankie.
So I'm in Act 2 as well. Pretty much what you guys had said. You know, there's a lot about, like with Peter. When I started playing the game, and like I said, like, you know, like Peter said, I think because we're coming off The Last of Us, it's a game that everything about The Last of Us Part 2 looks incredible. Character models, the world, everything about that game is just so finely polished that.
And story.
And the story, you know, and coming from that into Ghost, it's really jarring. The world is very beautiful, but the character models just, I don't know what it is, but they just don't look right. And that's still the case. Even, you know, I don't even know how many hours I put in by now, but I still think the character models look weird. Even when he's going into the standoffs, just like that weird animation of him walking up, there's stuff about it that just kind of irks me. And outside of that, there's a couple things in the game that I feel are really archaic. Like, I was talking to my wife about it, and I was like, it's kind of like the best and worst of Assassin's Creed. Like, if current Assassin's Creed games had this kind of combat in them, I would still be playing those. But there's also a lot of points in some of the missions that you're playing where if you stray a little too far away from everybody, you get that return to mission area countdown.
Oh, yeah.
Or you'll have one of those fucking missions where you're following people around, and you could be looking right at them, even though you're a little further away than you, I guess, should be. It'll fail you for losing sight of them, even though you can fucking see them over there. Over there.
Yeah.
Mike, over there.
Yeah, over there.
So.
And it's like, hey, I see a flower, I see a piece of bamboo, I need to pick it up, you know? It's like, hold your horses for a minute.
It's like, oh, hold on, there's some yew wood over there. Oh, I failed the mission, cool. So stuff like that is really irritating. But outside of that, like I find myself playing it and going, I really, really wish they would go back and make a Sly Cooper game. Just some of the mechanics where you're kind of navigating your way up to some of those shrines that you have to, they're a little puzzly to get to. Those I think those are the ones that give you like a shader or a sword kit or something.
Yeah.
But those are
really good.
Yeah, but they have a lot of like Sly Cooper like mechanics where there's ropes that you jump on and land and like nimbly run across, like stuff like that. I'm just like, man, I really wish they were kind of more like Insomniac and made these great realistic games like this, but also stuck to their cartoony roots and still did Sly Cooper stuff. But outside of that though, I guess like after a couple of hours, like the first big complaint I had was that the world felt really, really empty. Just as you're kind of starting the game off, you don't have a lot of abilities. You don't have some of the items you get that you get to use in combat later on. You're limited to the one stance you have at first. So once you start learning those different stances, I feel like that's the point where a bunch of other characters will start roaming the world. You'll run into bandits who are trying to kidnap a peasant and rescue them. And I think it's cool too that when you do that, like it's yes, it's like there in the world, but doing that is either going to give you some kind of resource or they're going to tell you a rumor, which is essentially saying, oh, hey, there's this point somewhere on the map where I heard about this. And then you'll get a little question mark somewhere on the map that gives you like a new location to go and do something that you may not have stumbled across. So stuff like that's actually pretty cool that they just have that in the open world. So like some of that stuff actually feels like it's worth your time. And like John said, you start digging into some of the side missions with all these other characters. Like Kenji's a shithead. I love him. But there's all these other characters that have like their own things going on, within themselves on top of Jin's, goal of what he's trying to accomplish. So, if the story is something you care about, I think diving into some of these side missions, they're kind of repetitive. A lot of them I feel like, but the context that they provide to the story and kind of flesh out the characters that you're on this adventure with, it helps a lot, in my opinion. But the other thing I just wanted to mention too was, you guys mentioned the stances. The more you play the game, and like John said, you start running into some more difficult enemies later on. I like how they don't stick to like the same exact thing. Like it feels like as you're going on, the enemies are evolving with you. So you're not just fighting the same, guy with, oh yeah, here's a sword. I'm just gonna do, a couple hits. Like John said, you got guys lighting their shit on fire, ready to fuck you up. So,
and also like once you unlock that second world, the first set of enemies I encountered is like those they fought differently. Yeah. They were stronger, and it's like whoa, you kind of have to adjust. That was kind of cool. Like okay.
Yeah. I feel like at least at that point, it keeps the game fresh. You're not moving on and just doing the same damn thing on the next island, even though you kind of are. You're doing the same type of side stuff. Some different side stuff. I don't want to delve too much into it because there's a really cool story arc spoiler in there.
Yeah,
no. You'll see. There's a lot of really cool stuff that they're doing with the story. It's nothing special, but it's also kind of fresh because I feel like we haven't had a samurai game in a while that's been noteworthy. Mm-hmm. And I gotta say, like I haven't actually messed around with this Kirosama thing that you're playing it with, Mike. But I do. I when you were talking about earlier the little like imperfections, like the film grain effects and stuff like that, like I like that a lot. Like it's just there's a lot of really cool attention to detail in this game, and I can appreciate that.
Yeah, agreed. You guys notice that, and maybe this is, if you ever visit Japan, is it me or is it always windy? It's never calm. It's either windy or storming. There's no summertime.
Yeah, I hate it. There was like, I think right now I'm in a situation where it's like thunder and lightning like almost all the time.
Well, you do know that depending on the flutes you got, if you play the flutes, a lot of times you can change the weather by playing your flute. Depending on the flute
know that.
But still, it's still.
That sounds familiar.
Kind of like a pain. It's like a game can, play your flute as till the cows come home, and it still doesn't change it.
Right.
I heard somewhere, and I don't know how accurate it is, but the weather also apparently changes based on how you're playing the game. So if you're playing the game more as like a ghost or a dishonorable samurai,
Dan is saying that.
Yeah, it's gonna be more. You're gonna have more storms. But if you're
oops.
Yeah,
really,
because I'm doing the same damn thing. But
I'm a little dirty samurai guy.
Yeah.
And you know what? That I gotta tell you. So all right. So let me get my in real quick, because there's a point in there that I want to make as well that I loved. So I didn't play The Last of Us 2 yet, right? So this of the two, this came first.
You play it in the correct order.
Yes.
So I feel
recommended
that
order.
way. And again, thank you, Frankie, for hooking me up. I can't stop playing this game. Like I from the minute I started, I was hooked. I turned on Kurosawa mode because I wanted to see what it was like. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do Japanese subtitle, Japanese dubs and English subtitles, and then maybe I'll switch over and check out. And yes, every once in a while I have turned on the color mode because I had to go look for flowers of various colors that I simply couldn't see. But I found that when I did that, I can't explain why, the game it just looked a little fake to me, like too colorful. And I know that's the idea, but I was like, no, I can't play it like this. So I went back to Kurosawa mode, and that I can't, this just feels, I feel like I'm playing a movie on TCM, and that's such a cool thing. And no matter what I've done, this is one of those games where I started to go through the missions, and then I started to do a fox den here and a shrine there, and and all of a sudden, I'm just going around the map. Like, I'm not doing the missions. I'm going around and finding fox dens. I'm building up my character. I'm going and fighting whoever I could fight, and I have almost all of the map for Act 1 unlocked.
That's
and
what
I'm not
I did
in
too.
Act 2
It's like
yet.
I'm running around till I have the whole map colored.
Yeah,
Everything is discovered.
And then I'll go to Act 2.
Well, Mike, there's some people with some questions, like Crazy One asked. He said, like this game or Neo or Sekiro. Well, I've played all three. Now, rest assured, I got the platinum on Sekiro and Neo, the first one. So I love Souls type games. So I love the difficulty level. I love the pain and torture and dying left and right. This game is nothing like that.
No, it's
this
not.
This game, like Frankie said, this is more of like Assassin's Creed, how it used to be before. In my honest opinion, I agree with Frankie. I feel like they kind of run the combat with Assassin's Creed in the recent games. I like the old Assassin's Creed 2 with Ezio. This game is more like that. So if anybody's out there worried about the difficulty level, first of all the trophies in this game, you can adjust the difficulty level. It comes on medium level. You can adjust it to however you like, but plus it's nothing, the difficulty level is nothing near the level of Sekiro or Neo.
Also, in the latest,
Dan says play
patch,
it on
they
lethal
added
mode, though.
Extra hard mode and an extra easy mode.
Right.
Yeah.
So now like.
So I agree with that completely. Like, I played Neo, and Souls games are not my type of game. So I got frustrated and I don't play games to get frustrated. And I know while I've always enjoyed Frankie's memes of me with Dark Souls and the stuff that he used to do to me with the Get Good, the honest truth is that I didn't enjoy Neo like I thought I would. There were parts of Neo that I enjoyed, but parts I didn't, and that's kind of why I didn't really jump at Sekiro, or as Vin Diesel called it, Sekiro.
Yeah.
But this game from jump, because it also felt like a couple of games that, one of them very old, and I hate to invoke EA's name, but at one point in time, EA actually was a good company. They had a PC game called Way of the Samurai. And the combat in that game was a little similar. You were more straight up, cling, 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 cling with your swords. But the other one that this reminds me of a lot in the combat is Tenchu. A little bit of stealth, but then you also had the choice of getting right up in front of everybody and just come get some. And that's one of the things, and it's part of the story. So I'll try not to spoil it too much. I don't think this will really matter in the main story part. But you guys notice that Jin, as he's progressing, starts off in a certain point where he's learned to do something, becomes conflicted about it, because that's not, he's learned to do something that's not the samurai way.
Right.
And the whole backstory with that goes along with that really, I thought that I think there's a character arc with Jin that plays into the story, that if you let it talk to you, makes you love this character even more, because he becomes to himself flawed, even though he's not. I mean, he's a hell of a fighter, as you can see, but he's self-flawed, and that just builds. It kind of builds into his his fighting style, and then you begin to go, well, wait a minute, do I want to go this way or do I want to go that way? You begin to try to figure out, if I'm Jin, how do I take this on? Do I take this on as a true samurai, or do I take this on as a stealthy ninja kind of guy? I mean, and you attribute it to how you feel about Jin Sakai. That's how I caught it.
Well, without running the storyline too, I can't say much, but there's something that happens that takes place, and there's a reason why Jin also, he's kind of like, when there's only so many of you left and you're back into a corner, he's finding out he's going to have to fight any way he can to succeed, and that's what he's dealing with, a moral issue from how his training and everything. But I can understand, because he's backed in a corner and it's all about survival.
The one thing I really did appreciate with what you guys are talking about is how they actually tie that with the story, to not only give you context as to why Jin feels the way that he does about how he fights, but just the timing of when they decide to put that in there, I felt was really good.
Yeah. Yep. Sucker Punch really, I agree. Sucker Punch did a wonderful job, and I'm hooked. And the other thing too, I have yet to become bored with the combat. Like every fight seems to be a different, especially now that I have all the stances opened. Every fight is different, and every fight requires that, sometimes I'm head in, right? Sometimes I'm, bring them, I'll take you all on. Sometimes I got to run, sometimes I have to run and regroup. Sometimes I have to, sometimes I use some of the special weapons while I'm, the ghost weapons, because, I want to get it over with quick. Every fight...
what enemy is the hardest for me? Those freaking dogs.
The one, you're right. The ones that grab.
Yeah, you don't even notice them until they're lunging at you.
You got to click quick slash with your square. It's you know what I mean. If you try any other, or you can if you don't see them on you and they're on you, the quick slash is the best probably.
Right, but still, they get in that attack mode, when they line up right. Right, I mean,
the bears pissed me off at the beginning.
Like when you fight a bear, like the second that thing charges at you, like you're fucked if you don't immediately react to it.
Yeah, the bear pisses me off.
Just one arrow and the bear is dead.
You see the ones that stand up on their hind legs and they just they're looking back at you, just saying like, "Come on, shoot me."
And you're like, you know what? Let me get on my horse. I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, right.
The only negative or big negative that I have about this game is once in a while the camera is like
so
effed up, like you can't even see what you're fighting, especially when you do the Standoff? I've had I won a few standoffs where I was just like, like kind of guessing when they would launch at me and hit him because I couldn't see because there was either a tree or a house or something in there.
Well, and like Peter said, Peter brought up a great point. When I was playing, I thought a lot about this. And I went back to games like Sekiro or Neo, and those games you have lock-on features. But the difference in those games, you didn't have as many enemies on you at one time. I think the reason why they didn't have the lock-on, because you'll notice in this game, like in Sekiro and Neo, a lot of times you lock on an enemy, you're fighting that enemy until he's dead, and then you lock on to the next one. You're kind of like safe from getting hit while you're locked on. This game, one guy will start hitting you with the sword, double swords. Another guy comes in with the spear. I think they left the target lock off so you had that mobility of getting in and out. So Peter is right. There are times if there's a lot of enemies on the screen, it can feel a little overwhelming and you're kind of losing your... But if you're used to playing first-person shooters, you're just using that right stick to kind of spin around. So I kind of like the fact that... Because if you were locked in and the way these enemies attacked, you would be constantly getting hit in the back. While you're fighting the guy in front of you.
Well, the other thing that's really cool, if you can put it together right, is changing stances mid, I take out, because what I might do is I might break a guy's guard, like if he's got the shield, and you break the guy's guard with that stance. I know a guy's coming with a spear. I'll switch to the right stance to take on the spear guy. I'll finish off the guy who I just broke his defense, but I'll be ready to turn around and take on the spear guy. It's really intuitive, and I think it would break the game if you couldn't be that way.
The controls feel very good, very intuitive.
Yeah,
like changing your stance and hitting them, etc. And they did a good job with that.
Yeah, the music, the particle effects in the game, like the particle of the dust, the leaves blowing, and also photo mode. Now, here's the funny thing: a lot of pictures that I've posted on Twitter, they've all, except for the exception of one, they've just been normal screenshots without photo mode, because I know I've been photo crazy. People are like, oh God, John's posted another photo of Sekiro. They're probably getting sick of it. The problem is the game's so beautiful, you walk along and there's some beautiful scenery, so I like taking pictures. But I've only used photo mode on one screenshot. The game's absolutely beautiful, but they do have a very robust photo mode where you can go in and you can change, like, you can have fireflies in the background, or you can change the color of leaves. You can have it windy or very windy, and you can change the colors and do all sorts of things with the lighting. So it's pretty awesome in photo mode.
All the pictures that I put up, not a single one of them are photo mode.
Right.
I just happened to catch the right angle.
Right.
But the thing is, like, I go to photo mode, but I don't really adjust any of the jazz.
Right.
It's just
I
so
don't
I have
either.
my time
I did
of
it.
snapping that picture, like, oh, that's good, and because if you hold the the share button, it's a little more delayed.
I did it one time, Peter, for the trophy, because one of the trophies is you have to,
Oh yeah.
you have to make your photo, you have to change it, or add something to it, mod it, basically,
Right.
The charms are really nice too, and I like, I like that you have to pick a good combination depending on A, the type of player you are, and B, sometimes the situation.
I've been switching them back and forth. Like, there's one for farming, so you get extra resources.
Oh.
Or then there's the one where when you're out of combat, you generate health.
The charms, yeah.
Yeah.
My favorites are the bamboo strikes and the haiku. The bamboo strikes are nice because you start off with like 3 pieces of bamboo, then you go to 5 or 7, but like the first 3 you have to hit like XX or cross square. The next one you may have to do cross square, triangle, left bumper. And it's actually kind of challenging. By the time you get to the 7th one, if they hit the right combination of buttons, you have to try it a couple times.
You still have to have the timing. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to have the timing. Yeah.
But it's like Simon says, to where at least it's a building block on the first one, so it's never like it's
not too crazy.
Oh, if they changed that, that'd be horrible each time. Could you imagine if it was just random each time? Oh my
God, that would suck.
There's one positive thing about that PlayStation controller is the buttons are very sensitive, which is good. You need it in this game. The problem with Xbox controllers, what I have, is that there's too much. I forgot what they call it, but there's too much delay between. Not a delay when you push it, but to make contact when you hit that button. There's like a lot of travel area. A PlayStation
What,
is
input lag?
No, it's not input lag. It's just and you have to push the button like very deep in on the Xbox controller. And
You're saying the mechanical aspect of it.
The mechanical aspect, yeah.
The touch sensitivity. By the way, I forgot what it's. Maybe somebody in the chat can help me out. It's like the travel time between when you hit that button versus when it makes contact. This, by the way, also has a pretty decent use of the touchpad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, the different swipes.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, the most useful one, of course, is pressing it down. But it is kind of cool to bow to people and sheath your sword when you need to. But and swiping up to find out where your destination is.
Swiping down to bow.
Now that, Mike, I really liked, because instead of when you're going from point to point, instead of having, you guys remember in the old Fable, Fable 2, for example, and many other games, like when you would select a waypoint, there would be like a dotted line leading exactly to where you go. I like the fact that this game kind of gets rid of that, and it just uses the wind. So when you select your waypoint and you touch up on the touchpad, or you swish up on the touchpad, you'll see the wind move. Yep. And you've got to kind of look around and see which direction the wind's moving, and you go in that general direction. I like that versus like a dotted line straight to where X marks a spot, because it forces you to go in a general direction, but you don't have to take the exact path. So
sometimes you can't.
You can't, and because there's cliffs or mountains but it makes you actually search the territory more when you don't have just a dotted line to exactly where you needed to go.
Yep.
The other nice thing about how they did that system is, if, like all of us, I'm sure, if you're going to a point that you have, but on your way there you notice like, oh hey, there's something over here, and you kind of deviate from your pinned spot that you're going to. Yep. Exactly. Yeah.
That's me.
We do this shit all the time. It's like, oh look, a shrine. So so even after you finish the other thing, there's still like the little particles kind of blowing along, so you don't necessarily have to do another swipe on the pad, because you still have the environment telling you like, okay, hey, so you got little lightning bugs off, a little, maybe some leaves flopping around, but the game is communicating with you where you want to be heading for your location, even without you having to constantly be swiping up for another wind gust.
Yeah. Now, and here's some of the Assassin's Creed traversal, or as I like to call it, the Lara Croft traversal.
There's some humor in the game too. I know early on in the game, I won't mention the quest, but you're helping a woman, and you find out that she's not necessarily being honest with you, and there's some kind of humor. So Jen goes to all this trouble to help this lady. Come to find out, she's not really telling the truth about it, so there is a little bit of humor if you're catching it while you're playing.
And what's his name that makes you hide in the and stuff?
Yeah, Kenji. Was a
Kenji.
Kenji.
Yeah, really. So I'm like, my wife's already gone to bed. It's 10:52, so when we're done, I'm headed right for the PS4, because I just I want to play some other stuff, but I'm compelled to play this game. It's been interesting to hear your guys' perspective on coming from The Last of Us 2 to this game, and I think my not playing The Last of Us 2 maybe puts a different point on it, but I also love this kind of game. I love this kind of era. I love, and where I expected a game like Red Dead Redemption to scratch an itch because I love the Wild West, and it didn't.
Right.
This completely scratches my samurai game and samurai movie itch in a way that like I said, from the minute I started playing it, hey, good night, Rich. The minute I started playing it, I was like, this is exactly the game I was hoping it would be, and that's got a lot to do maybe with why I can't put it down.
Well, also, Mike, this being a new IP, so to speak, I think this is a wonderful start. Like this, I would obviously be down for a second game in this because this is their first foray into this game that they've done. And like you said, there's just something magical about it. And if anybody's wanting to know the time periods, like in the 13th century, and there's Mongols in it, just like in real history, and just kind of like Assassin's Creed. Now, it doesn't go deep into it, but the game, the time period with the Mongols and the samurai and things like that, it does kind of stay true to that,
Yeah.
Especially the time of Genghis Khan when he, they were like the second most powerful civilization in the world ever. And that's kind of this time period with the Mongols.
I have one piece of advice for any games that game mechanic is, why do we have to push a button to pick up resources? Why can't we just run over it?
Now, some of them you do. I agree with Peter. Now, there is some clothing you can put on that I notice that when you're running over things, it will add to it. It's not necessarily picking up something else, but it adds to it. You'll pick up like a, piece of alloy metal or something, say +2. A few seconds later, it'll say +1. It automatically adds. So
yeah, one of the charms does that.
Yeah. But you still have to click that button.
Yeah, but you somehow, by the way, you still have to click the button. By the way, the chat somehow is frozen. I don't know why. But
I noticed that.
Yeah, the chat completely froze.
Oh, no.
Sorry, guys.
I'm not looking at that live chat. That I also overlay my YouTube chat because that's where.
Yeah, I always do that too, but it's nice to.
So I don't notice it.
Yeah. So, but I'm glad I got to experience this. I was gonna buy it one way or another, but I appreciate, Frankie, that you lent me a copy of it to play because this is it's just for me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
This is
and I don't think it's necessarily the order. It's just we played that back to back.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But it seems like this is.
It's the two send-off games, so it's like these are the two probably best-looking games that are going to come out on the PS4 that the first-party studios are going to put out. So I think, just like what Peter said, like just playing them back-to-back, like The Last of Us Part 2 probably should have been like that swan song game. Like, I love Sucker Punch. Like, they hands down are my favorite developer, but I felt like they did a disservice to themselves releasing after The Last of Us Part 2.
Well, that wasn't their fault, though.
Oh, I know. I mean, I'm sure. Look, I'm gonna be honest. I think if the story plots hadn't leaked from The Last of Us Part 2, it still wouldn't be out.
Maybe.
I think that forced their hand. Like
we definitely talked about that.
Yeah. So I think more than anything that affected that. So if that hadn't happened, I think these would have come out in the order they probably should have. But oh well.
Two, it's weird because it coming off The Last of Us 2, that was such a great game. But what was weird, I really wasn't even slightly disappointed with Ghost of Tsushima because for some reason I automatically knew that it were two separate individual games. And a lot of times we make the mistake as gamers, we play one game and we go from game to game, because they come out so fast and we're wanting to play the next and best thing. Sometimes you got to switch off in your mind, hey, I'm done with this game, now I'm playing this one, to be fair, because they are two totally different types of games, It's like going from playing Halo to a racing game or a racing game to a sports game. You know, there's different transition just because it's a different game genre. So I wasn't really disappointed from The Last of Us 2. Like, Last of Us 2 really doesn't overshadow this game, in my opinion. I liked it. Of course, there were things in Last of Us 2, as much as I love it, you know, there were things about it that I didn't care for. But overall, the game was fabulous, you know.
You know, we didn't really... I don't think you chimed in because I don't think you had played it, but what did you think of that? Like, the overall The Last of Us Part 2, like, what did you think of that game?
Well, Frank, I'm glad you asked that, buddy. Now that I can talk about it, I guess I can say whatever, right? Is it? I mean, we're not...
Try not to spoil.
Yeah, try not to spoil, because I still haven't played it yet.
Well, you guys got to tell me, what's the spoiler cutoff like?
I would say, well, I think by now people know some things. People know... If it was leaked, you probably could say it. I wouldn't go too heavy.
I'll just talk in general. After beating the game and finishing it, I still, this is my honest opinion, Ellie is still my favorite character in the game. A lot of people didn't like Ellie. Ellie's growing up in the game, and the way I looked at it, because I've got a daughter, Ellie's growing up in the game. She's changing, and just like teenagers are, she's a young adult. She's 18 or 19 in The Last of Us 2. She's going through changes, and I remember with my 4 kids, I remember how evil they can become from 13 to 19. All of a sudden, they just, I mean, they could turn into monsters and cause you all kinds of grief, and you're like questioning life and why you even had them in the first place. But
I can concur with my oldest.
So Ellie changing, a lot of people are like, oh, she's not the, well, she's changing. She's, you know, going through all this. Abby, on the other hand, even though I liked her and I understood her part of the game, you got to remember, Ellie was like a daughter to Joel. And me being a father of a daughter, I would have done the same exact thing. Everybody's blaming Joel because of the virus and they couldn't take care of it. We don't even know if the cure would have worked. So everybody's jumping on the I hate Joel bandwagon and this and that. He's the one. He ruined it for the rest of the world. No, Joel did what any loving father would have done for their kid. Blood's thicker than water. You're going to stand up for your family. So I'm not mad at what Joel did. I would have done the same thing in the game, in the first one. You know, the way Joe got killed, a lot of people... Well...
Nah, that's okay. That's been...
Yeah, I think everybody knows that.
Yeah.
The way Joe went out, some people didn't like that. But, you know, kind of in real life, I like the fact that Naughty Dog and Neil Druckmann didn't stay with the typical stereotypes. They changed it up a little bit. They didn't just extend Joel's life, just extend it, you know. And if you played the game, they go back constantly. Memories of Ellie and Joel, and they constantly go back. So they're kind of giving a tribute to Joel along the way. So it's not like he's just dead and forgotten about.
No. They have some very beautiful moments.
But in the end of the game, it had a good. I liked the ending. I wanted more. I didn't see anything wrong with it. It makes me look at all the criticism of the game and just kind of. I'm just kind of like, what are you guys criticizing here? What are you complaining about? It makes me question what people are thinking sometimes, you know?
Yeah. I had said the same thing. Like, when they announced this game, I was not at all excited about it. I didn't think The Last of Us needed a sequel. But when this one, the credits finally rolled, I was like, you know what? I would definitely play another game. Like, I really like Abby. I think she's an excellent new character. Her and Lev are... I think they're a great team, and just I want to see where they take Ellie next. You know, like there's some stuff that happens that, you know, there's definitely some little story strings that they can go and tie up and really explore more of in another game. And this is like the first time in a while that I've finished the Naughty Dog game and like, please make another one.
Right.
Wow. Okay. And you know, I got to tell you once again, you guys are able to do this without spoiling the game for me who haven't played it yet. So, good job.
Yeah, it's hard. You never know. It's hard to, you get all excited and you start talking about something. You accidentally let something out of the bag. And you're like,
it's hard to dance around, but I think too, people probably get frustrated if it's a game they don't care about. They're just like, I already don't know what you're talking about. So
Right. Right. And I don't care if I ruin it, which I hate. I hate that.
I hate people who do that.
You know, if you don't want to play it, don't play it, but don't ruin it for somebody else, or don't, and it's nothing you guys have said in the last month of talking about that game has given me anything I don't already know. So the only other thing is, and I'm wondering, The Last of Us was a pick up, put down for a long while, pick back up to finish kind of game, and I'm not racing to play The Last of Us 2, but the reason for that has nothing to do with any of the things that we've ever talked about, because I've realized that I've said like over and over and over and over, hey, I'm gonna go back and play State of Decay 2, and I don't, because honestly, the zombie thing that's not my cup of tea. I've got a friend, one of my clients, that set up a DayZ server. I was like, Mike, you gotta come play DayZ. Not really,
But I think The Last of Us, it's even though it has zombies in there, it's not the main.
Yeah,
it's not the main part.
It's not the main thing.
Okay,
it's like
all right.
There's a lot of
personal
personal
if you
flaws.
want to,
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So see, this is why I love you guys, because then if I say something that doesn't, that's different, that because you guys have played it, then
if you think about it, all the characters are evolving in the game. Even when they go back and Joel and Ellie, they're arguing in the beginning, and Joel's evolving. He's growing. He's trying to understand Ellie. She's getting older, kind of becoming an ass, but then she kind of comes back. She gets more grounded
Typical
as she goes
teenager.
along.
Yeah.
Abby, she's got emotions and she's driven. The funny thing is, Abby and Ellie are driven by the exact same thing.
Okay, stop.
Okay, they're both driven by the same thing. It's just a different perspective. It's kind of like the Jedi and the Sith.
Okay,
It's just a matter of how you look at it.
All right.
So Mike, I'm with you, because that's how I approached the first Last of Us game. I felt like that one was much more, I don't want to say action focused, but there was definitely a lot more of that in the first game. And that's one of my main criticisms, was I just didn't feel like that connection between Ellie and Joel that much in the first game. But this one, I felt really doubled down on establishing like their relationship and just the kind of stuff that they would go through together. Like, this one is a lot more character and story driven than it is, going through and finding shit in empty houses and killing clickers, So I think this one, they got the balance right for this one.
All right, because that's when full disclosure, I didn't say this when Craig was on last week, but when he saw the State of Decay 3 trailer, I was like, that looks cool.
It's also a CGI trailer.
It is, but what I mean is that genre of game doesn't really do it for me,
I think I'm finally coming out of that, because I've been there for a long time myself. Any zombie kind of game, I've lost interest in, because I played the shit out of so many of them. But I like Dying Light 2, I feel like is the one that's going to bring me back into wanting to kill zombies.
If that ever comes out?
Yeah, if it ever comes out, maybe. If we live to see it come out at this point,
Right. That's the end game of COVID is Dying Light 2.
No. It's better than that. It's actually Dead Island 2.
Oh.
What's funny with the zombie games, like a lot of times I usually steer away from them a lot of time. And I guess The Last of Us, they're infected. I mean, you could say zombies. They're not really zombies. It's a different kind of thing going, but we'll call them zombies for namesake. But the last zombie game that I really liked was like Dead Rising. Like, I love the comedy and the humor, like in Dead Rising 3. Even my kids, we would play on Xbox, and I'd love running around in my underwear with the chainsaw, and glow sticks. And
real life.
Look at the game until the weekend. But But I loved running around, and the kids, my kids were hilarious. They're like, they're like Beavis and Butthead. They're like, look, Dad, I got underwear on, and I'm hitting them with a glow stick. So my kids really love that but I like
That's
that.
how Peter and I played it when we did it.
Some of these zombie games are kind of depressing, and you get in this depressing world. Like the endings are kind of blah, and you know that you're fighting and surviving, but people are going to get killed off. It's the same thing over and over. So Dead Rising, the comedy in it was great.
Yeah, Dead Rising 3 was a hell of a launch game for the Xbox One. A hell of a launch game. One of my favorites of that kind of time frame. Because of all of that. And I remember even, Peter and I played it, and we did the co-op, and then some other people jumped in and played co-op with us, and hell, I think you probably did, John, play some co-op with me on that game.
I think we did a little bit. So it was amazing, yeah.
And the humor and it was different, and we had the Kinect. God rest its soul. And
the voice commands, yeah.
Oh, well, not just the voice commands, but if you made a sound,
right,
the zombies would know where you were. So I remember I was playing it. I turned the corner and I said, "Oh shit!" And all the zombies came around because they heard me.
Right.
So I mean, it just. Yeah, so that was such a different game, and Capcom is stupid for abandoning it.
When we were playing that, though, Mike, I was actually off work because of my injury, and my wife, she'd be at work, so I was sitting at home all day long, so I'd put in Dead Rising, man. I love that game, man. It kind of cheered me up. My wife would enter the door, and she'd go, "Are you playing the Xbox again?" The minute she said that, the Kinect would pick it up and pause my game. I'm like, good.
Well,
great.
that game too. Remember, had the the app that was the phone, and you got phone calls during the game from characters in the game. Remember that?
Right.
That you know what? I might have to do a retro on Dead Rising. That might have to be one of my.
Yeah, the Kinect's retro now, right?
It kind of is. No, and I can't remember what the there was DLC for that, Frank's Big Package or something like that.
Oh, that's the fourth game.
Yeah.
Four is what I'm thinking of. 4 is the one that came out on the Xbox One. That's the one I'm thinking of. And it had
no. So 3 is on the Xbox One. Only the Xbox One. 4 came to PS4 like a year later or something. That one has like the mini golf thing.
Yeah.
The one where he's a zombie.
Yeah, 3 was the first one. The first 2 were timed, and the third one was when they just made it open world, and you didn't have a time limit.
Right. What was the name of the DLC for that? It was like Frank's something or other, where he basically got bit. It was the end of the game.
Frank Rising.
Frank Rising. Thank you. Because remember, at the end of that game, he didn't make it. They dragged him down off the helicopter ladder, and he got bit. And so Frank Rising was the DLC while he was turning.
Well, there's no use in me playing the DLC now.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to ruin it. I didn't mean to ruin it for you, John.
That's all right. I've done it before.
I didn't play the DLC though, so that's all that I know. So the DLC. No, the DLC was everybody knows what that is. It's
right.
So
great game though, man. I just loved the Dead Rising. It was flashy,
It was.
I liked it.
Craig, what do you think of Dead Rising?
I like Dead Rising a lot. If
Oh
I
man,
were here I could talk about it.
Hey, De Niro. Unfortunately because the chat froze, I didn't see Dreadpool. I didn't see Dreadpool slide in here either. I'm sorry, brother.
The chat's moving on my phone. I got it up, and people are still commenting. So
Dreadpool or De Niro, he's late for the Miko talk. I don't know what. So, anyway,
it is only 11. So I mean,
yeah, we're gonna be done. DR3 by Crazy One said Dead Rising 3 had the goofy. That's right, the Super Turbo Championship Edition. Remember, Peter?
Right.
We played the hell out of that.
Extra, mega, super, fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, that was some good stuff.
Yeah.
So. All right, so I think we covered everything tonight. Has anybody got anything else that we missed?
I got one thing.
Aha!
So I fired up a little stream out of the blue on, what was that, Tuesday? Monday? Tuesday?
Yes.
Tuesday. So I don't know how frequently I'm going to do them, but I'm going to try to stream like a newer game every so often. It's something that comes out that's probably under the radar, something I've never heard of, the crap that I play that no one else does. So I streamed a game called Other Side on Tuesday probably. So it's a black and white and red tactical RPG. And I'm still kind of learning my way around the game. Like, it has this timeline mechanic, which I still don't fully understand how to use it, but I know it affects like the order in which everybody attacks. And if you like finish your turn and don't use all your attack points, that'll give you more turns to do damage later on. And there's all kinds of like weird intricacies to the game that I'm still trying to figure out. But I streamed about the first half hour of it. It's on our YouTube channel, so if you want to check that out, do so. It's really cool. I really dig it though. It's kind of like an Into the Breach, a little bit of Rogue Legacy, and obviously, kind of like that XCOM style, strategy game. So the unique thing about it is your characters don't heal between battles. So you earn like this currency to birth. They're called daughters. So you basically birth these daughters, and then you kind of go through these different synopses where you're either hunting demons or you're trying to survive an onslaught of demons. And as you kind of level these characters up, and if you want to heal somebody, you have to sacrifice one of them to heal that other person. In doing that, the person you heal will gain an attribute from the sister or the daughter that you sacrifice. And then I haven't done it yet because I assume there's stuff you have to pick up to do so, but you're able to kind of resurrect some of the daughters that you have. Like, there's a cemetery that lists all the characters that you've had up until this point. But I'm at a point where, because I wasn't sure how the game actually played at first. You have like a calendar of 7 days, and kind of buzzing through the trophy list, looking at the hiddens, it seems like. So I'm at a point where I have a boss fight that I can do that you have 7 days to get to. By the 7th day, it automatically, you're going to fight the boss whether you're ready or not, which you're probably not ready. But the thing that I really like is, like, you guys play Little Nightmares?
I did not.
I have not.
No? Okay. So it's kind of like that style of like monsters, just these kind of Tim Burton-esque, just really creepy and unsettling looking like demons. And like these boss fights are like, I tried it one time and just got annihilated. But the boss fights are really cool because that's like the aesthetic that they're going for these character designs. And I don't know how many there are total, but basically I'm bringing another game in, sort of like Dead Cells, where you beat this boss. So then when you start your next run, it's a roguelike. So you go on, you'll probably die. You'll have to start again, but you can fight that boss from day one. So theoretically, it should be getting easier because you're getting new abilities, different perks you can put on your characters, stuff that'll help you in battle, as you try more and more. Ah, yeah, here we go. Thank you.
Man, I like the color scale, Frankie, the black and red. That looks very haunting. I like that. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's really unsettling looking. And then just some of the character models for just your basic enemies. Like so like each week seems like it's themed around like the boss. So this one's like a plague doctor, I think. And so like these demons are all kind of like, plague doctor-y themed. So as you progress and like go to like the next week, I don't know what it looks like yet, but those characters are going to look different and kind of take on, the attributes of, whatever that boss is going to end up being. So it's also interesting because when I started playing it, I just figured you could go click on the character that you wanted to move and do something with, but it's actually each character. That's what this whole timeline thing is I'm starting to figure out. Like each character has their attack turn. So you can move, you can attack. You have, I think, 70 attack points to allocate per turn. But so you have to do each character at once. Like you can't just like, oh, I want to do this character, I want to do that character. Like you have to have the character that the game has you selected. You do whatever it is you want to do that turn, you end your turn, and then it'll move on to the next character, which I figure end turn means I ended my turn. But this isn't like a typical, strategy game in that sense. So a lot of stuff to learn from it, though, and I'm playing it in between Ghost of Tsushima, and it's like pulled me away from Ghost of Tsushima because I'm just like getting to a point where I'm trying to figure out like, okay, how am I going to actually do this? Like the trailers show some ridiculously cool combos because you have like these reaction attacks, so it's essentially Overwatch from XCOM. So if an enemy kind of comes within a thing, some of them have stipulations where if the enemy's going to attack somebody, if it's going to be a finishing blow, if they just cross your path, like your character will react and attack them. And then other characters have the ability, like you can shield, block an attack. There's interruption attack, so if that enemy's coming to attack you, you'll actually just counter and attack them instead. So there's a lot of really cool systems in this game that I really want to figure out how to actually use and do some of these really cool combos that they were showing in the trailers. The only downside really is that it's a $40 game. So it was between this and Destroy All Humans, and I was like, you know what? I haven't played a strategy game in a while, even though I'm obsessed with Skulls of the Shogun also right now. But yeah, just these like these little minion guys. They're just the whole thing is so creepy. I love it.
Nice.
Well, you can see this definitely on our YouTube channel as we're showing it here, and check it out. It's called Everside. Other Side.
Other side. With
Other
the
side.
With the C, not an S.
Uncle side. Yes. Break on through to the other side.
Which side?
I'm on the west side. I'm on the east side.
Oh, no.
All right. Cool, man. Yeah, and thanks for showing that off, too.
Yeah, I'm going to try to do some more. I don't know how frequently, like I said. I'm supposed to be off Mondays, but that never works out. So if I get home, have some energy, have something new to show off, that's probably okay to watch on a stream. Because I wanted to stream Creeks. That's the new game from the guys that made Machinarium. But point-and-click adventure games don't seem to do well on streams for me. Like, I think they're really boring.
And they can
that could
be.
Just be me. I don't.
No, they can be. So. Yeah. So. One other small thing, just for those of you who are interested in it, Cuphead out on PS4.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I bought that too.
Yep. Still no word on the DLC, but
they're still hard at work on it.
Yeah. So, but there you go. In case you're looking for it on PS4, it is now out on pretty much everything. So PS4, Switch, Xbox, and PC.
And Tesla.
Yeah. All right. Anybody got anything else of note before we call this a night? And I'm not gonna. You're not gonna goad me into saying I'm gonna get John to bed.
Yeah. I just wanted to say thanks for everybody listening. I appreciate it. Frankie did an awesome job tonight with all your material content. Peter, what you bring to the show, Mike, all the stuff that you do. I mean, I'm surrounded by a good group of guys and our
Craig
listeners.
Williams.
Yes, and Craig Williams.
Craig Williams.
Look at that guy. Look at that face. Yes.
Yes, that's the face of a that's the face of a positive gamer right there.
Right. That's Will the real Craig Williams. Please stand up.
This is what happens when you miss a show.
That's right.
From now on, all people who miss a show.
I feel fortunate.
You get Craigered.
All right. I wonder how many Xboxes Craig has.
You'll have to start photoshopping him. So if Fastback misses, he has a beard.
I think somebody
John's not
did
here,
put a beard on.
Somebody did him up like Kratos.
Oh yeah.
Frankie, were you going to show your collector's edition or not, or on your Ghost? Are you not doing that now, or?
I mean, we can if you want to. I don't even know what's in it outside of the game because I sent it to you.
Well, maybe you could show it next show, or I don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
All right.
Up to you,
Are you guys going to do Paper Mario next week?
Probably not.
Okay.
I haven't even started it, so
Okay.
I haven't even opened my copy of the game yet.
Okay.
Right.
So maybe another week after.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be willing to do that with Frankie. I may do like Myst on the Switch or something. Until then, I'll wait. I got Ghost and some other things to play anyway before I kind of get into Paper Mario.
And maybe next week we could do a little bit on Grounded. So
yeah,
definitely want to.
Oh yeah,
I definitely
Crosscode too. I forgot about that.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Well, if I ever got an invite to Grounded, I guess I'd play. But
I would invite you to Grounded, but you don't have Game Pass.
I can still buy the game, can I?
I don't. You know what?
Yeah.
Can you?
It's in game preview. Yeah.
Okay. I honestly didn't know.
Steam.
I honestly didn't know.
I mean, I can still play it. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll let you know if it's any good. I mean, game preview games are game preview games.
I can see I still have a code for you.
Okay.
Oh, there you go.
Or like a 2-week trial for Game Pass.
I think that's like my biggest issue with it is I want to play that game, but I also want to wait because every time game preview ruins things for me. Like I remember when we
have to sample it, but just don't play it every day.
But
just so you get like, oh yeah, that's cool.
But I hear even the game preview, even in game preview, I hear this is a fundamentally great game.
Right.
Like I'm hearing I'm not hearing much negative on it, which is surprising because everybody came with the, oh my God, Obsidian got bought by Microsoft, and now all of a sudden they're making this Grounded game instead of, of course they announced Avowed. But these companies that Microsoft, or the developers Microsoft buying, that are putting out their kind of little side projects that they always wanted to do. But I'm hearing that Grounded is actually a really good game, and even in game preview, not a lot of negative, and that Obsidian might have been one of Microsoft's best purchases. So,
well, my good friend Jeremy from TXR, the Downer, he really likes it. He spoke pretty highly of the game.
So
Juan likes it.
Juan likes it.
I'll probably like it. Yeah. He's got some good taste.
He's got some excellent taste.
Speaking of Obsidian, they didn't say a whole lot, but it sounds like the lore for Avowed is actually going to kind of be tied in with Pillars of Eternity.
Yes, I did hear that.
Which is pretty cool because that's a cool game.
Yeah,
cool couple games, right? They have two of them.
Hey, what about that EA buying Warner Brothers?
No.
Phil,
you remember?
Phil, step in.
It's
Phil.
like bringing the studios to the slaughter. Right. Cheer that on.
I would almost rather Take-Two if any of the ones. I don't know if I would mind Activision necessarily, unless they're going to take them and be like, all right, cool. You guys make Mortal Kombat, great. Now you're making Call of Duty maps, like.
Right.
Right. I feel like Take-Two, if anybody though, is going to pick them up, it would probably.
I would be okay with Take-Two having them. I would be okay with Take-Two. I would be okay with Microsoft picking them up. I'd be okay with Sony picking them up. Anybody but EA. EA would be the death knell. So
they'll sell all them packs like they do in Battlefield. You can win before you even play. You can.
They'll
just because you don't have the time to play.
What was that game? What was that Batman game? Gotham City Imposters. Resurrect that.
Right.
We'll resurrect that as like a battle mode expansion for the Arkham Origins multiplayer mode or something stupid.
And it'll be all microtransactions.
Yeah.
Oh my! All right. See, we can't end. We got to end on a sad note.
Yeah.
All right, so guys, I think we 2.5 hours. I'm not going much longer.
Yeah, I think it's a wrap.
I think it's a wrap. I think we covered everything. Great talk on Ghost of Tsushima. I'm going to go play some more of it myself. Next week we'll have a lot to talk about with the Intellivision press conference. So I am really I'm legitimately looking forward to that. I really am. I'm expecting, I'm expecting to be happy coming out of that. So, but so anyway, to all of our folks in the chat, and hey, Project Jeff, I know you came in late. You're playing some games. So that's all right. De Niro said, John's friends with Downer? That explains a lot. I kid,
Oh, yeah.
I kid.
Oh, hey, quick shout out. Project Jeff's nearing the 500,000 gamer score mark.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Holy crap.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
almost there. So
You guys with your high gamer scores. Like I'm still at languishing below 70K.
You're not a gamer.
I'm
I
almost
know.
at 200,000.
I know.
And I haven't played in 3 or 4 years.
I know. That's how sad is my life that I haven't even broken 70K yet.
But
It
I
is-
was off for 2 years though, all busted up and everything. I had a lot of time at home to play too, though. I gamed a lot during
I
that.
played the service games like Sea of Thieves for the longest time. There's no achievement in sight.
Right.
Crazy, unachievable achievements.
Right.
Stream achievements. If you do that 24/7, you get those. But
well, you need to become an influencer, Peter. That's what the
yeah, probably.
and then Rare will
They
love
ruined that. They ruined that game. I don't feel like playing that Sea of Thieves, even though it has more content than Day One. I'd rather go back to the Day One games. Those are more fun.
You'll be Peter Dog, the influencer.
Yeah.
Did you guys, by the way, real quick, and then I swear we're getting out of here. Did you guys see what Rare tweeted today?
Who?
Yeah,
Rare
I did.
Rare tweeted out a little, just a
Some
couple little
toadies.
pictures of frogs.
Oh yeah.
So maybe we're finally going to get something else on Battletoads.
Well, and then there's a Battletoad Easter egg in Grounded.
Yes, there
Yeah,
is.
there is.
And I understand that Craig is going to be a playable character.
Ooh,
Ooh.
beautiful. Congratulations, Craig.
Yeah.
Indie Gamer.
Oh, right. So Craig is going to be on. I can't. All right. That's right. So, big news. So, Indie Gamer is doing a new show. He's bringing a weekly indie game podcast out on Saturdays, and
So monthly.
Did he say monthly? Did I miss that?
For
I'm
now,
sorry.
yeah.
If it's
Well,
monthly for now.
He's still figuring out the format, but for now it's monthly.
Okay. And he is going to be joined by our very own Craig Williams and Super Cooper. So, no, honestly, Fastback Chris is going to join him.
When he gets back, I'm going to be calling him Craig. Watch.
This will show him. Anyway, Chris is going to be co-hosting with Indie Gamer and Super Cooper, and that's going to be one hell of a show. And so, make sure you're signed up to Indie Gamer's YouTube channel, and we'll help. It's all part of my grand plan. We get 2/3. It's like Peter said, 2/3 of right.
Yeah.
We get 2/3 of the NLG crew to co-host, and then I make Indie Gamer an offer he can't refuse.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, no, I love Indie Gamer. I really do.
Either voluntarily or voluntold.
Right. So this is a hostile takeover.
A hostile takeover.
That's why Peter's still here.
Exactly.
That's right. Peter's the muscle. Andy, hey, we gotta talk. Man, you gotta check out. I love his indie videos. The indie wrap up videos, just so good, and he's so knowledgeable in that arena. So
Terrific value, like on his his production values too.
Yeah.
Like his videos are amazing.
They really are. They really are.
He does like a top 10 indie games on his radar each month. I love those. Those are my favorite. There were some that slid way under my radar I didn't even know about. So I'm glad that he's doing those. So thank you, man. If you watch this later, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, he's in bed by now. It's like 4 in the
100%.
morning.
But
so
he's gonna have to watch it later, right? I mean,
yeah. Oh yeah. And I love the fact that he hangs out with us at the beginning. You know.
Mm-hmm.
I love our chat room. I'll never stop loving our chat room. I would marry our chat room if I could. So, anyway. Well, we would have to sometimes put Niall in the basement, but
all the time.
Anyway, so great show, guys, as usual. And even in this realm of exhaustion and having to deal with craziness at work, still able to really enjoy being with you guys and interacting with our awesome chat. And good to see you, Crazy Juan. Really great to have you in tonight, man. Might have to get him in for a guest appearance very soon. Have him come in and hang out with us for a night, like the old days. So, so next week, 9:00 Eastern Standard Time, we'll have plenty of Intellivision to talk about. And don't forget all of our other great Gamers United Guild guys. Retro Renegades are on Tuesday nights. So basically from here, Sunday night is TXR, and that's Downer and Invader Gaming, Centurion, Tim Dog, Shockley. And those guys, one of the best Xbox podcasts out there. And then Monday, like late afternoon, 5:00 is Four Guys with Quarters, another fantastic show with Clowns and Assassin and Zebra. And then Tuesday night is Retro Renegades. You can't miss that show. Make sure you drink a lot while you're listening to it or watching it. And then of course on Wednesdays is Pete. Open Every Box Pete does videos all throughout the week, but the Amico All Access podcast, him and I and a bunch of great Amico, the Amico Bros, go on Wednesday night at 8. And, of course, us at 9:00 on Thursdays, wrapping up the week. So, all good stuff. So, everybody, have a great week. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week. And, as always, play on, gamers.
Game on, guys.